Jack and Audacity are known for starting their nesting season well ahead of many other eagle pairs on the explore.org network. This year was no exception. Audacity laid her first egg on January 31st, which was followed by a second egg on February 3rd. Later that same day, we discovered that one egg broke, perhaps pierced by a talon. On February 6th, she laid a third egg, but within hours, another was lost. Through it all, Jack and Audacity tended their single remaining egg with steady care until it suffered the same fate as the others. Since 2022, these eagles have lost 20 eggs and successfully raised just one eaglet, Betty Lou, last season. Audacity and Jack aren't clumsy with their eggs. Instead, their eggs have especially fragile shells. Remarkably, this entire sequence, 3 eggs laid and 3 eggs lost, unfolded before any other eagles on Explore.org had even begun laying this season. There is a small chance that Jack and Audacity may attempt a second clutch, but their experience so far this year has once again challenged their reproductive success. The Fish Hatchery Territory in Decorah, Iowa, is the site of the very first bald eagle cam on Explore.org. The previous resident female hatchery mom was found dead of lead poisoning in 2025. The void left by hatchery mom was short-lived. A new female eagle, now known as hatchery mom number 2, arrived in the territory within a week of hatchery mom's death. The resident male, hatchery dad, paired with her, and they continued building the nest that hatchery dad and mom started in 2024. Hatchery dad and his new partner carefully placed the final touches on the nest during their bonding process over the last several months. Hatchery mom number 2 laid her first egg of the season on February 17th, and followed that up with her second egg on February 21st. Although the eggs remain deep in the nest cup and are therefore difficult to see, the pair's commitment to them is unmistakable. The expected hatch window for their eggs is around the last week of March. Andor and Cruz have been a model of consistency over the prior 4 years. Since Andor joined Cruz in this territory in 2022, the pair has successfully raised eaglets every season. January marked the nest building season for this couple as they prepared for egg laying. One branch in particular caused Cruz some trouble, but the nestations were eventually completed on schedule. Cruz laid her first egg on February 19th, then narrowly avoided disaster when her foot almost crushed the egg as she adjusted her position in the nest. 3 days later, on February 22nd, Cruz laid her second egg, which was followed by egg number 3 on February 26th. With the clutch established, it's now business as usual for this pair. Cruz and Andor will take turns incubating their eggs for 35 to 40 days. Watch for these eggs to hatch during the last days of March and the first days of April. On this night, a classic nursery rhyme is in order for the Fraser Point family. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran down the tree trunk. "2026 marks Chase and Cholin's 23rd year at the Two Harbors territory. The longtime pair had been preparing their nest and spending time together ahead of egg-laying season. Cholin laid her first egg of the year during the night of February 23rd and 24th while the cameras were offline, but we caught our first glimpse of the egg early the next morning. Last year, Cholin didn't lay her first egg until March 9th. making this year's start exactly 2 weeks earlier. On February 26th, Cholin laid her second egg, and then for the first time in her 28 years, Cholin surprised us with a third egg on March 2nd. That egg, however, cracked almost immediately. If all goes well for this most experienced eagle pair, the remaining eggs should hatch in early April. There has been a revolving cast of characters at the West End nest over the last year. Thunder, Akicheta, Makayo, Haku, and others all claimed this area as their own during parts of 2025. And the turnover continued into 2026. Multiple eagles have been seen in the area recently, although a pair of unbanded adults has been the most prevalent. The unidentified male of this pair has since disappeared. A different male eagle, nicknamed Lee, appears to have established his claim to the territory in recent weeks. He and the still unnamed female are bonding and keeping watch over the land and water. Last season, viewers watched Mr. T split his time between the Trempealeau nest and another site known as the Minnesota Island nest, less than a half-mile away on the Mississippi River. On January 15th, cameras captured what appeared to be a confrontation, likely between Mrs. T and Mrs. Minnesota Island, who was the resident female of Mr. T's island nest. Since late January, Mrs. Minnesota Island hasn't been seen, perhaps because Mrs. T drove her out of the territory. Meanwhile, Mr. and Mrs. T have been spotted around the Minnesota Island nest, even removing nesting material and relocating it to a new site we call N2, which is near their original nest, but unfortunately for the eagle-watching public, harder to see. This appears increasingly to be their chosen nest for the year. The longtime pair, Mr. North and DNF, have nested here since 2008, but this year change arrived in this territory. On February 6th, Mr. North disappeared for more than a week. During his absence, an unknown male attempted to establish his claim over the territory. DNF rebuffed his advances initially, but over time she appeared to be adjusting to the new reality. Then, on February 12th, Mr. North returned and reunited with DNF. Still, the unknown male never left. Cameras witnessed multiple aggressive encounters between the male birds from February 15th to February 24th. Weeks of ongoing confrontation and the unknown male's persistent pressure began to take a toll on Mr. North. It became increasingly difficult for him to defend his territory against the unknown male. A February 19th battle ended with both males falling from the nest. On February 21st, Mr. North fell again from a tree, this time on his own. The ongoing fights may have proved too much for Mr. North. He has not been seen since February 25th. Defending your territory or usurping that of another eagle can be risky. The reward, however, is huge. Will DNF accept the unknown male and begin a new chapter in this saga? Stay tuned as the messy side of nature plays out in Northeast Iowa.